Hey there everybody, and welcome back to another Fandom Wire exclusive, but this time, we're not just bringing you one piece of big information, not even two. We are bringing you 4 big exclusive scoops here at Fandom Wire, and this isn't even counting the scoop that we brought a couple days ago about Dr. Doom making his debut in the MCU in the Black Panther sequel. But be warned that some of the information we're going to give you could be considered a little bit spoilery. Primarily about some news we have on Black Panther, the story of the Black Panther sequel, and a character who may be introduced into the MCU soon, a character who was not expected and wasn't even on the radar. So if you want to go into these things blind and have as little information as possible, now's your chance to click away. But I've got a feeling that you're too curious and you've got to know. So here we go. We're going to start with Black Panther news, since that's what we brought you last with Dr. Doom. Another piece of information on someone returning or being in Black Panther 2 is going to be Michael B. Jordan, who of course played Killmonger, the primary villain, depending on how you look at it, in the first movie. He was of course killed off, or seemed to be killed off, but we here at Fandom Wire know exclusively that he will appear in some capacity in the sequel. Now, what capacity? We don't know. How big of a role is he going to play? That's still unsure. How will he be there? Again, you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer. It could be that maybe Wakanda chose to save him after that battle. Maybe he wasn't actually dead. You know, Wakanda is so advanced. They have all this technology. There's a chance that they saved him. I don't know. It could be, and what I think is more likely, that it is either flashbacks or a spiritual kind of talking. We know that Wakandans are very spiritual and they have ways of speaking to their ancestors, and I feel like that's probably the route they're gonna take. But another piece of information we have on Black Panther 2, this one big. This is the actual story, what the plot will be about. And so again, spoiler, if you don't want to know, go away. What we here at Fandom Wire exclusively can bring you is that the story will involve Atlantis and Namor. Now, of course, that has been the fan favorite wishful thinking on what they want to see, Wakanda versus the Atlanteans, and that is going to happen. So the actual plot is going to take place after the death of T'Challa. They are going to give T'Challa a ceremonial death to pay him respect in the movie. The character will die off in the movie, and then the beginning of that movie is going to take place following all the people on Wakanda battling to take over the throne. There's going to be like a competition, you know, series of probably combat and different feats that they have to fight to win that throne, and the person who will ultimately win that throne to become the ruler of Wakanda and the next Black Panther is going to be Shuri, which is what everybody kind of expected, right? So you guys were right on point with that. Shuri is going to be the new Black Panther, and then she will have to lead the Wakandans in a battle against the Atlanteans and Namor. And at the same time, because we already told you Dr. Doom was going to be, and this Dr. Doom is not expected to be the primary villain, but he's going to be in the background, kind of introduced, maybe pulling the strings, playing a more menacing, like Thanos role, where Thanos was there, but he wasn't the one in there doing the battle, because he's being built up to a bigger character. So that's what we've got there. And now for a bit of DC news, and that is that Titans, which has been moved over to HBO Max along with Harley Quinn and Doom Patrol and lots of DC properties, is going to be renewed for a 4th season. So if you're a fan of the Titans series, you should be ecstatic because it is getting a 4th season coming straight to HBO Max for your viewing pleasure. Now for the last bit of information that we're going to be bringing you, and this is a big one. Again, click away if you don't want to know this, but we have a scoop on somebody else, an unexpected character who's going to be joining the MCU. Now this is big news because this is the first we've heard of the X-Men joining the MCU since Disney bought out the Fox properties, right? And fans have been wanting it. So the question is, which X-Men character is it? And it is Quicksilver. And this makes sense, right? Because we have WandaVision going on right now, and WandaVision is actually going to be the platform that they use to introduce Quicksilver. And I say introduce Quicksilver because it's not this Quicksilver. It's this one. That's right, and they're going to be doing this with the multiverse because WandaVision is leading into the multiverse, right? She's directly connected to Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness and also leading into Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse. So this is big news because if they're bringing in the Fox's X-Men character now, this version of Quicksilver, then that raises the question of will any of Fox's other X-Men characters come in? Fans want Hugh Jackman. I don't think that's going to happen. Hugh Jackman is burnt out on this role. That is why he killed Logan, right? That's why he died at the end of that movie. He lived out that character. He played it for a really long time. He got jacked, muscled up, built all the time for it, and he's done. He's ready to put that character to rest, and I'm with him on that. I think it's time to introduce a new one. We've seen a lot of that version of the character. So, will we be getting Professor Xavier? Will we be getting Cyclops, Storm? Will they choose to introduce some lesser known X-Men characters? Who knows? So that's it. That's 4 big pieces of information that we've just brought you. Killmonger in Black Panther 2, the plot of Black Panther 2, the Wakandans battling for the throne, Shuri taking on the mantle, and then having to battle Namor and the Atlanteans. We told you that Titans is getting a new season on HBO Max, and probably the biggest news of the day, that Quicksilver will be introduced into the Marvel Cinematic Universe via WandaVision. So, let me know what you think of this news. If you stuck around through the spoilers, does this excite you? Are they moving in a direction that you are happy with? Or do you think they should change things up entirely and go somewhere else? Right? They're not going to listen to you, but you could still tell us if that's what you think. I'm Joshua Ryan. I'll see you guys next time.